Good afternoon. Well, like you said, I'm Blake Janssen. I come from Amber, Pocassin area, which is just north of Chickasha, just about 45 minutes south of here. Town ain't too big. Just looked up the population on the way here, just to let you know. There's about 426 people that live in Amber as of 2021. And so we don't have a stoplight, but we got a gas station that is bad to the bone. So that's a little bit about my hometown and my background. So you probably know I'm not, too much of a big skinny skyscraper kid. And so I just talked to Representative Lowe this morning. He talked about how shy I was growing up, and he couldn't be more right. But growing up around the right kind of people with a rural background and getting to know leaders within even the legislatures I grew up through organizations like FFA really helped me in my public speaking advantage and just getting to represent the college that I love, which is Redlands. So coming from Amber, a small town in Grady County, there was a lot of kids that kind of raised on the farm and ranch. There was a few that played sports, and we all got along real good because there wasn't very many of us. I graduated with 40. And so going to a community college like Redlands in El Reno just came really natural. It was something that I looked forward to, and what really drew me into Redlands was seeing the success of the alum. You've got best friends that go all over the country. You may hang out with them your whole life. But at the end of the day, I like to see the success that people go on and do after high school and how that sets that up for the rest of their life. And so with that said, I chose Redlands on the livestock judging team. But before that, I actually took a lot of concurrent classes, which I think is vital in terms of going forward out of high school. I actually managed to cover about 27 hours before I graduated AMPO, and that set me up great. I came into college motivated to maintain the 4.0 that I had in high school, and I had personal relationships with some of my teachers and my instructors and professors at the college, and I couldn't be more excited to go and learn more. Additionally, in terms of success, just through Redlands, I don't have a very demanding schedule. The things that I probably work on most is maintaining my network with the friends that I've met, because I don't have that many hours to take each year judging livestock and the hours that I took previously. And so that's what I'm thankful for, because one of the areas of talking about today that I was asked for was my success and the things that Redlands has given to me in terms of higher education. And first I'd like, what's my favorite things that I've learned? Well, the education's been great, but my favorite part about the smaller colleges and being able to go experience Redlands like I have is actually the network building. I've heard a lot even today, and I heard about my dad and my mom all the times that I grew up. It wasn't exactly about what you were learning, but about who you were learning about and how you maintain relationships with them, which I think is vital, and I think it's very important. And so, with that said, I was on the President's Honor Roll for 2 years. I've been through three semesters at Redlands, working on my last one. I'll graduate in May and walk. But there was one when I was on the Vice President's Roll. I had 1B, and it was unfortunate. It was in chemistry. But the best thing about it was I still had a personal relationship with Professor Gutman. I got to learn about his family and how he likes to construct work at Redlands. I did learn more about chemistry, but the most important thing to me was going to a college where they care about you and they care about your success, and they're free to listen to you and advise you and teach you more about what they love to learn about. So I couldn't be more thankful for that part of the class. And then on a personal note, coming from Amber, there's a few kids that also wound up at the same college I did. The names were Kyle and one was Sean. One was my team roping partner, and the other one was in my youth group, so I didn't get too far to the friend circle. But I saw what they came from, and we didn't all have the best plan going into college where we were going. We all just kind of fell into the same hole in El Reno, and I couldn't be more blessed and fortunate. Kyle's actually graduated already through his concurrent classes that he took in high school. He didn't have to spend much time in Redlands. Now he's off to the workforce and he's on the right path. And then Sean just took the job as a youth minister out of Sharon Baptist. And I think that's pretty exciting, and it's good to see your friends grow up and flourish like they have. Finally, one of the best things that I appreciate about my college is the location. We're obviously in the great state that's Oklahoma, and I'm about smack dab in the middle of it, which is where I like to be. There's tons of opportunity to go out and learn from other people in the industries that excite you. And so that's some advantages that I've taken part of, is going and being a Cougar at Redlands. But after that, like the alum that drew me in to going to Redlands and seeing their success after they graduated, that also excites me for my transition into senior college. I've got a lot of friends and buddies that went off to OSU, OU, bigger colleges. Not saying that isn't my plan, but I couldn't be more excited experiencing the smaller college like I have at Redlands and seeing even how my mom did at USAO and seeing how she transitioned into senior college. And so it's really a blessing, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. But finally, I just wanted to thank everybody here in the state of Oklahoma. My dad's from Indiana. He went to college in Kansas. My mom's originally from South Dakota. I'm a first generation Okie, and it's pretty awesome. And so I'm glad that that's where I was raised. And just thankful for the benefits and the legislation that we have and the experience that they've given me today. And so I hope that you've all had a great time and are thankful for the opportunities that we have going to these colleges. God bless, and go Cougs.